Every time the channel grows, I like to post the question to the community, what do you want to know about yours truly? And once again, it was an overwhelming response. I had so many questions asked, and unfortunately, if I don't answer your question, you can ask it on the next one, or potentially I've answered the question in a previous Q&A session, so it might be worth checking those out. But one thing that I do want to say, the growth on the channel has been insane. We have recently surpassed 16,000 subscribers. We're growing faster every single week, and it's all thanks to the support of you guys, and I really do hope that you're enjoying the content. Let's jump into it and see what you guys want to know. The first question coming in from Devika, and they would like to know, what is the most embarrassing moment of my life? Am I in a relationship? And love your channel. So much love from India. Firstly, thank you very much for all the love. It's always interesting to see people from different parts of the world enjoying the content. It's actually really fun. We have such a varied audience, so thank you for the love. So I guess the most embarrassing thing that I can think of was probably when I was about 13 years old. I mean, when I think back, it's not that bad now, but at the time I was mortified. So when I was starting kind of like secondary school, as we call it in the UK, we kind of had this whole summer camp, and everybody was kind of sat in a circle. Everything was dead silent. I decided that I was tired of crossing my legs, so I decided to put my knees up and hug my knees. I leant back a little bit, and the loudest fart you will ever believe just reverberated through the hall. And for me at 13, I was so awkward. I was so introverted. I was bright red. I was like tomato color, and I just had to get the freak out of there. And then for like a week after, it just kept playing over and over in my mind. Now I wouldn't care, but back then it was probably the most embarrassing thing that I can think of. And then second part of the question is, yes, I am in a relationship. Many of you will know her as Nergig. She's great, and we've been together now for quite some time, and she has been very supportive of this journey on YouTube. Second question coming in from Mini Tom. Q&A, when did you know your brother was gonna be a famous YouTuber? So with this one, I think it was probably about 2013 roughly. I remember Ryan just suddenly had this massive growth spurt when Five Nights at Freddy's came out, and when he started pushing the content, his numbers was increasing. It's kind of interesting because I distinctly remember a lot of the friends at the time told Ryan that he's wasting his time, but I was like, you've got something good here, run with it. And then as things kind of progressed, I think that's when I sort of realized that it was going to take off for him. I remember me, Baz, and Ryan, we were sat in like a sauna when we went swimming at the gym, and we were just having a conversation, and I remember them talking about the figures, and I thought, dang, these boys are going to be big someday. And then they were. Farrell H, do British people eat chairs? Don't lie to me. Nah, dude, we don't eat chairs. Fourth question coming in from King Crimson Jr. How's your ear now, mate? How much do you earn from YouTube per month? How long does it take to edit your videos? Is mayonnaise an instrument? 4 questions in one, let's go. Firstly, my ear is okay. I've still got a little bit of ringing in there. I don't think my hearing is quite 100% back. I would say it's probably about 70%. That was probably the most painful ear infection I have ever had. It completely wiped me out for a week. There was probably about 3 nights where I had no sleep. I just literally sat in my bed. My ear was just like throbbing, and the pain, I was literally begging the pain to stop, but it didn't. Eventually, it kind of cleared up by itself, fortunately, but yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Second part of the question, how much do I earn from YouTube? Let's just say this, not a lot. I mean, it's not going to cover the rent, put it that way. The third part of the question, how long does it take to edit my videos? It doesn't actually take me too long now. I've kind of got into a flow of how I edit. I've also kind of developed my own style. So if I'm, say, making a 30-minute video, probably to edit that, I would average maybe about 2 to 3 hours. So I think that I've got a pretty good workflow. And then fourth part of the question, is mayonnaise an instrument? I think that's too deep for me, bro. I don't think one man can answer that question. I'm sorry. Next up, we have Jel Kez Chan. Is there a comment from one of your subscribers that is indeed memorable to you? If yes, what is it? I have quite a few that are memorable. I think the very early days, when I first started getting established, maybe like the first 20 videos, there was very distinctive people. Like one particular person I remember was Jade. Like, she stands out as someone who used to leave me my first supportive comments. So those are the kind of the comments that do stick in my mind. You know, it's humble beginnings, but I do actually read all the comments All the positive ones, all the negative ones, I do actually read them. Unfortunately, I can't respond to all of them, but yeah, the early comments definitely stand out the most. 6th question, Gentle Helmet. Internet persona and real life personality are two different but connected identities. That being said, A, what personality traits that bridge the gap between identities, and B, please tell us more about Nathan rather than NathOnGames, provided you're comfortable with the question. I really like this one, dude. Thank you for asking that. You know, it's always the questions that get the mind ticking that I really, really enjoy. But to answer part number A, what personality traits bridge the gap, I definitely think that the person that you see on camera is pretty much identical to the Nathan in real life. In regards to, I'm an introvert, so that's why a lot of my videos, I'm not sort of like super erratic. You see a lot of big YouTubers out there, they scream, they shout, they do all that good stuff, but for me, that's just not who I am. So I guess my introversion kind of bridges the gap. Also, I'm kind of socially awkward, and sometimes I feel that can come across in a lot of videos. Like this video right now, the amount I've had to cut out from the previous parts is insane because I just don't feel comfortable, even in front of a camera all this time later. That probably bridges the gap. And also sometimes on streams, I can kind of get a bit flustered, I guess. That's kind of a personality trait. And then for the second part of the question, tell us more about Nathan. I guess that, to be honest, I'm kind of a boring person. I think that's the only way to say it. I mean, I enjoy video games. I'm a bit of a nerd. I like collecting Pokemon cards. I like collecting amiibos. I'm very much into PCs and stuff like that. In fact, I just upgraded my PC today with some new cooling. So I'm what you would class as like your conventional nerdy kind of person. I guess that would describe me. Also, as a personality, I've mentioned it previously, I'm very introverted, so I don't really go out a lot. I'm perfectly happy to be on my own space for quite literally weeks on end, and I just won't miss that human interaction. So I guess I'm very much an introvert, which is why this job suits me perfectly. Moving on to number 7, Memento Memes Cooks asks, love the content, but are you going to get a PlayStation 5? And finally, most importantly, coffee or tea? I will probably get a PlayStation 5. I thought about this, but I don't think I'm going to get one at launch. I think that the cost is simply too high. Like investing in all of the consoles at once, it's just so much money that you have to splurge. So I'll probably wait until it comes down in price. I mean, it will do eventually, whether that's a year, 2 years. I'm in no rush for it. And second part of the question, I would say tea, but I'm a coffee convert, so I gotta go with coffee's better. 8th question from Ibdra. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I think I've answered this one before, but my goals always change. So ideally, I would like to be doing something like I'm doing now. So if I'm editing and kind of doing my own thing, as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be the best thing for me. So as long as I'm doing this, I'm happy. But going a step beyond that, I think I have a new goal. In 5 years' time, I think I'm going to start taking my health a little bit more seriously. I think sometimes it's easy to neglect it in your earlier years, but now that I've hit 30, I'm starting to notice that health is something that's very, very important. So hopefully in 5 years' time, I will be a healthier, happier person than what I am now, because I think that physical health is kind of tied into mental health. So that's something that I want to do. Invest in my physical health over the next coming years. Number 9 from the animated cat, rocking that NathOnGames badge. I do like it, Sam. Favorite Pokemon. Also, have you plugged the Twitch and Discord? If not, do it. Well, it doesn't really leave me an option, guys. Sam has said so. Make sure you do join the Discord channel if you want to. Link will be down there in that description. Also to the Twitch channel as well. Drop a follow. Is that better, Sam? Also, my favorite Pokemon. I gotta go with Haunter. Easily. I just love that guy. Second place, though, has to go to kind of like Abra, Kadabra. I think those are also awesome Pokemon. They just kind of stuck with me from the originals. There's just something about Haunter that I really, really love. And I also love the psychic Pokemon Abra and Kadabra. So I guess those 3 are definitely kind of up there. Saffron Art asks, what is my favorite FNaF character? You know, that's kind of interesting because I'm not actually invested much into the FNaF kind of ecosphere or lore, so I kind of just got to go with what I like the look of, and I think that Springtrap is absolutely amazing. Definitely my favorite FNaF character. I just like the way he looks. I just like the way he's designed, basically. So I gotta go with my boy Springtrap. Rapper David, in my opinion, what's the best, cheapest way to start doing YouTube? Now that is $1 million question, bro. But I guess I can give you my opinion. Of course, that is just that, an opinion. But I think that when it comes to budget, you have to be realistic. You're gonna have to invest some money somewhere. I mean, for example, you don't have to splurge out on a super expensive microphone or a super expensive PC. What I would say is do your research, look what's on the market. Most importantly, I would say, is audio quality. So if I was to suggest anything, I would say invest in a microphone that is really good, first of all. You don't have to splurge a lot of money on them. There's some good ones out there for like $50. They're pretty good. Make sure that you get that. Make sure you understand how it works and make sure that you know how to make your audio sound as best as it possibly can. What's actually interesting is people are more forgiving when it comes to poor visuals rather than the audio. So you could cut corners, you know, you don't have to have a camera when you get started. You could simply just do kind of like a good quality audio. Think of like, you know, podcasts, things like that. People are happy to listen to that even when the visuals aren't great. And then of course you can upgrade as you go along. Make sure you have a good enough computer. Make sure you have a clear vision and just set yourself a budget and stick to it as best you can, but be realistic with that budget. Don't penny pinch too much because it will bite you further on. Question number 12, coming from Carl. Do I live with my brother? No, I do not. However, I am occupying his old kind of office space room, as you probably noticed from the background. Apart from the LEDs, I added those. But no, Ryan actually purchased his own home, so he has his own place now. I moved into his old room. So yeah, that's where I am temporarily. Question 13 comes from Chunk. How big are my toes? How big are my toes? Okay, let me just get the measuring tape and let's have a look. So my guess would be my toes are probably about 2.5 inches, roughly. The final question, number 14, coming from Chimp205. How do you say scone? There you go. Scone. I know some people do say scone, but for me, I normally say scone. So that's the way I say it, dude. And that wraps up another Q&A video. Thank you all of you who asked your questions. It's always fun to see what you guys want to know about me. If you do enjoy these videos, there are some previous. So if you haven't checked those out, I definitely recommend it. There'll be a playlist of like Q&A videos that you can check out. But thank you guys for all of the support. I do apologize that I've not actually been uploading on the channel as much as I should. I've had some things going on behind the scenes, and for that, I do apologize. I will get back onto the saddle ASAP. Thank you for sticking with me though. It does truly mean the world to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But as always, guys, stay safe out there. Wash those hands, keep that social distancing up. You're doing a great job, and I'll see you all in the next video.